Yes, sir, I am ready.
So, Mr. Atharva is a robotics electronics engineer. He has completed his UG in electrical engineering and has experience of working in the R&D for electrical industry. And his primary focus is on implementation of various automation systems. The topic for today's session is simulation of SCARA robot using RT Toolbox 3. And I would now like to hand over to Atharva to kindly start the session. Over to you.
Yes. Okay. So, myself Atharva Dhale. Today I'm here to share my some of my knowledge on the simulation of SCARA robot using RT Toolbox 3. So, let's start with it. So, I'm working at SVR Infotech. I'll go through some of our core values. Our vision is to innovate indigenous technology for the well-being of human life. Our mission is to design, develop, inspire, and evolve technologies in and around to make it useful. We are in business of design and development of customized robotic products, sensors, instruments, and testing equipment for our numerous clients. Yes. So now the main topic is simulation of SCARA robot using RT Toolbox 3. So introduction. So RT Toolbox 3 is a programming environment for all Mitsubishi electric robots. Enables user to create programs in minutes using the Melfa Basic 4, 5, and 6 robot language. It has following feature. It has total engineering support. That means RT Toolbox support all processes from system startup to debugging and operations, including programming and editing, verification of scope of operation prior to introducing the robot, estimation of takt time, robot debugging prior to startup, and monitoring the robot conditions and malfunctions during the operation. The next one is from programming to startup and maintenance. So the robot movement, operational status, input signals, and servo conditions can be monitored easily thanks to the preventive maintenance forecast function that notifies users of the robot grazing time and battery lifetime. An assistant function for position recovery in event of trouble is shortening the breakdown time. Next one is the simulation function. So simulation functions, what to say about? So okay, so RT Toolbox 3 simulates created program for up to 8 different robots. Robot movement can be verified and takt time can be measured. Such simulation functions are also effective for preliminary examination. Furthermore, the signals can be linked to GXWorks 3 for easy creation of line simulator. Okay, so the next is what is SCARA robot? So SCARA robot is the robot which is designed by the Mitsubishi team and which is only move in horizontal movement. So the RHCH line, RHCH is the short term of the SCARA robot. The RHCH line of compact of industrial SCARA robots are very lightweight, full function robots ready to meet the needs of today's manufacturer at a price of even the most budget conscious with customers. They are also very cheap in the price with a range of payload, riches, and the protective ratings to choose from. These robots are well suited for pick and place applications, for assembly line in production, for material handling, and for packaging of application. Also, the robot has equipped with some powerful CR750 and 751D controller. So the controller is also very rigid, robust, and very strong. So these are some benefits of SCARA robot. The first one is it is compact and space saving arm. So yes, it required max to max 560 mm of space to mount the robot on any floor or any table or any workbench. So yes, it saves the space, of course. Next one is the robotic arm is very lightweight. So it is what to say? Yes, we have 3 kg payload of robot and the weight of that robot is around about 14 to 15 kg. So it is very easy to handle and very easy to install. The next one is high speed movement and positioning. Okay, so the speed of the robot is very high. I'll show you in the experiment to teach the different robot. Next one is the standard. Okay, so the control using for Scala robot has a total 32 inputs and 32 outputs on its I/O port, which is on the CR750D controller. Also, the controller is capable of controlling up to 8 different axes of robots. And yes, there are total 2 channels for encoder interface. Next one is high performance controller. So yes, the controller performance is very high and very. I'll show you in the experiment about that. Next one is easy in operation. Yes. So the teaching of the robot can be easily done and easily executed via the teach pendant or with the RT Toolbox 3 software where we have the virtual teach box from which we can also teach to the robot and we can operate the robot. The last one is lower in cost. Yes. As I told earlier, the robot is very cheap in the cost. Okay, so I'll show you the video of Scala robot. I have set in a theme of palette depalletization. I'll show you the video. Just my screen is visible, right? Hello, hello.
Hello? Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. My screen is visible, right, sir?
Yes, 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 it is visible. The only thing is, it's not in the slideshow mode. What you can do is you can
No, sir.
shorten.
Actually, yes. I want to show some video of it. So
Sure,
for
sure.
that, just a minute.
Okay,
I'll turn off the sharing and I'll again share the screen.
definitely.
Yes, now it is visible, I guess, right? The Scala robot is showing in this on the screen, and
Yes,
I'll
yes.
start playing the video. So this is the robot. You can see on the top of the robot there is a branding of Mitsubishi Electric. We also attached the end effector that is a gripper, which was designed by SVR Infotech, and the gripper is not came with the robot by Mitsubishi. So I will start playing the video, and please see the video carefully how robot depalletize the 5 by 4 matrix from this portion to this portion. And the speed of the robot in the video is only the 30% of its full load speed. So I have gone there, I have just started the code. And the robot start operating. In that case, for the theme to be look very fancy, instead of going for second line, I have coded it like it will pick the first block first. After that, it will pick the first block from third line. Then again, it will pick the second block from first line and vice versa. You will see that. As I have told, it has picked up a block from first row, second. Everybody, please keep your mic on mute, please. So as of now, you can see that the robot has solved the pallet from this side and depalletize it to this side. Okay. So this was the theme which was said by us, and yes, it looked quite nice. But so it is a horizontal axis robot which moves only in horizontal direction. Next one, it has total 4 degrees of freedom.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think you need to go back to presentation. Do you want to share the
Yes.
presentation again?
Okay. Okay. Yes. So the SCARA robot has total 4 degrees of freedom. There are total four junction in it, that is J1, J2, J3, and J4. Okay. So there are total four axes, and we can add total two extra external axes to the robot. So that is also there is an arrangement for the same. So now we'll go to the software, that is RT Toolbox 3, which is very unique and very easy to understand, from which we can control, we can code any of the Mitsubishi series robot. Okay. So again, I have to stop sharing. Just a minute. Yes. So this is the software, RT Toolbox 3. Everybody please look into it. There are some options over here, that is home. Next one is online. Next one is 3D view, that is 3D view of robot. While working on it, if you want to see it, you can see it. Next one is view, what you want to view. And the next one is help. In help section, there are different manuals. The first one is of RT Toolbox 3. If you got any problem while working on robots, so you can debug it from the manual. Everything has been explained very nicely in the manual. Next one is how Melfa works. Next one is detailed explanation and functions and operation of the controllers. There are total 4 controllers which has been made by Mitsubishi for different robot. The controller which we are using for Stara robot is CR750-751 series. And the last one is of troubleshooting. If you got any problem, if you are stuck anywhere, so you can troubleshoot your problem by seeing the error code, and you just simply have to open this CR751 series or 750 series manual, and you just simply have to paste the error code. So you'll get to know what kind of error it is and how it can be resolved. After that, so let's get back to the home window. So here we'll click on new to create a new workspace. To code anything or to move the robot, we have to click on the new. So yes, I have clicked on new. After that, you have to give some unique name to your workspace. I'll give that title name. I'll write simulation mode. Yes, that I have to click on OK. Yes, so these are some parameters which we have to select. So very firstly, the outline. In outline, you have to select the project name, which is by default RC1, and we don't want to change it. Just keep it like the same, that is RC1. After that, you have to click on next. So these are some specification in which we have to adjust it accordingly. So as I have told you that the controller which we are using, that is FD series CR750D. The name of the controller has already been pasted on the controller, so you can see the name from. After that, you have to select the type of robot. So our robot is RH horizontal type, that is Tara robot. So I will click on RH horizontal type. After that, how much payload capacity it has. So the robot which we are using has 3 kg of payload. After that, these are some robot models which are available in horizontal type and 3 kg of payload. So our robot is this one, RH3CH4018B. So RH means horizontal type, 3CH means its payload capacity, and the 4 means how much axis it has. So horizontal type, 3 kg of payload, and it has total 4 axes. Then again we have to click on next. Now here we have to select how we are going to communicate with the controller or with the robot. What will be the medium? So there are total 4 number of medium. First one is RS232. So we have to brought a cable of RS232. We have to connect it to the controller, and after that we have to connect that cable to our PC. with the control is TCP/IP. That is the LAN cable. We can also communicate with LAN cable from PC to our controller. Next one is USB. Yes, so we can communicate using micro USB cable. And next one is GOT. So as of now, we are running the robot in simulation mode. We can select anything as we are not uh, physically communicating with the controller. So I will select TCP/IP. I'll click on next. So after that, there are some program language and all the travel access, robot additional access related concepts or information. So we don't need it right now. So we have to click on finish. After that, there are total two modes of operation. Actually, there are total three, but the offline mode is not showing here as if you don't do anything with online or simulation, then the robot works in offline. And in offline mode, you can't share anything from PC from the software to the controller. So now I click on simulation. Yes. So this is the 3D view of our robot, and this is the teach box. So I'll explain firstly what is a teach box. So teach box is a device or a remote kind of thing from which we can teach the robot different positions, and also we can operate the robot in job mode, in hand mode, and as well as we can start running the program from teach box in manual mode. The difference is only between manual and auto, that is of speed. The speed is very fast in the speed is very fast in auto mode, and in manual mode the 100% speed, that is the 30% of auto's full speed. Okay, so this is the teach box. From select the program, you can see after running the program from this line window, from this line parameter, we can see the program is currently on which line. After that, we can jump to any line if we want. After that, there is an option of SVO on, that is servo on, servo off. If you want to start any program, firstly we'll have to select the program here. After that, we have to make the servo on, and after that, we need to start it by pressing the start button. The next button is of stop. So if anything happens and you want to stop the movement of robot at an instant, so you have to click on the stop button. After that, if you have written two different programs. You are currently moving the robot, say at a code name of 100. So suddenly, if you want to change the code from 100 to the next one, that is 101, then firstly you have to click on stop. After that, you have to reset the program so that the line at here you can see only the code is on the first, and after that you can select the different program if you want. If you won't reset the code, you can't be able to switch the program. This is the end. So the end and stop are nothing but the same. After that, you can see the 3D view of robot from here. Actually, we have opened the 3D window. If any error is showing, so this light will blink. After that, you can go step by step to every code from here. This is hand mode. This is job mode. And these are the speed. If you want very slow speed, you have to put it on low. If you want normal speed, you have to put it on normal. Okay, so this is the teach box. So this is our robot. As I have told you, there are total 4 number of axes. So one axis, I'll show you every axis one by one. So firstly, here we have to select whether we want to move the robot in joint operation in XYZ, that is linear operation, or in 3-axis XYZ operation, in cylinder operation, and so on. So firstly, I'll select joint, and if I want to move this one, this joint, so the joint is J1. I'll go here and I'll move the J1 axis. Okay. Likewise, if I want to move the J2 axis, I can move the J2 axis. Okay, so now if I want to move J3 axis, there is a one shaft over here in which there are total 2 axes or 2 motors are present. I'll show it. If I move J3, then it will go upside and downside. And if I move J4, so it will twist that axis. Yes, it is twisting the axis. Okay. So this is all about the joint operation of axis. If you have moved the robot and you don't keep it in home position after your operation, and if you want to robot to go back to home position, then you have to click on home position here. So this is the home position of robot. Okay, so this is all about the joint movement of Star robot. After that, we'll move the robot in linear, that is XYZ movement. So in XYZ, the robot axis only works in 90 degrees and 45 degrees. I'll show you how. If I move X axis, you can see the robot is only moving in linear direction. If I move Y axis, so this is the linear operation of robot. This is the Z axis. This is used for twisting. For joint operation, if you want to twist the last axis, you have to make changes to A. But in linear or XYZ, if you want to twist that axis, you have to make changes in C. Okay. So this is all about the teach box. Now we'll write a simple program on which teach the robot to how to make a square. So for that, I click this aside. I have to go to simulation. After that, there is an option named program. So I have to right click it and new. I have to give some name to the program. I'll give 100, 100, and okay. So this is our program window, and this is our 3D view of robot. Okay. So for joint operation of robot, the instruction we are using is MOV, that is move. And for linear robot, so we want the robot to make the square. So for that, we will be requiring the linear operation of robot. And if you want to teach any position or if you want to give any position to robot, so for that the prefix is P. So if you want to write like the robot should be go to a position 1. So you are supposed to write MVS P1. So that will be its first position. The robot will move to its P1 position. If you only write here MVS1, so that won't be understood by robot, and the after the execution of program, it will show the error. So firstly MVS P1. So we will need total 4 points to make a square. That is the corner 4 points of the square. So we will require total P1, P2, P3, and P4. So after P1, the robot will move to MVS P2. So that is P3 and MVS P4. Okay. So this is the basic program. After that, you have to right click on the program window and simply click on transfer all to the controller. After that, there is one dialog box is coming out. Are you sure you want to write 100 in the controller? Yes, I'm sure. So now the code has been fetched by the controller. After that, you have to teach to robot this 4 point, that what is the P1, what is the position of P1, what is the position of P2, and vice versa. So for that, we'll require the teach box. Okay. So firstly, at this window, I'll have to add the all the coordinates of P1, P2, P3, P4. So I'll write here P1. I'll see my 3D. So the point at which the robot is currently staying, that is the P1. So, so this is the P1 position. So what I have to do is, I have gone to the program P1 and get current position. So the current position of the robot has been fetched by the controller. As you can see, X is 326.240. Here is also X is 326.240. Y is 14.180. And likewise, every axis has been fetched by the controller. After that, this is all about the P1. So I have to add P2. So this is P1. So I have to go to the right side for the second point. So I'll make changes in y-axis. So this is my P2. Let's consider this is my P2 point. So I have changed only in y-axis. So now this is my position for P2. So P2 get current position. You can see only the position of y-axis has been changed as I only move the y-axis. After that, P3. So for P3, I have to move to this side. Okay. So I'll have to make changes in x-axis. So we'll say this is my next point, that is P3. So P3, get current position, and this is my P3 position. Same for P4. For P4, I have to adjust the y-axis. Okay, so this is my P4 point. Get current position. So this is all the coordinates of all the 4 points, X, Y, Z, and C. As we are moving the robot in linear movement, so the twisting axis shown in C. If we move the robot in joint operation, so the twisting axis will see over here. That is. So now we'll start the execution of program. So firstly, I'll take the robot to some different position. Now, as I have told you, firstly, you have to make the servo on so that all the motors in the robot will turn on. After that, you have to select the program. So the name of my program was 100. So I am able to see it here. So I have clicked on the 100 number and I have clicked on the OK. So now you can see here the program number 100 is selected and the robot is currently on the line 1 and it has stopped. So now here is the speed box. So I click on 30. So that is my speed. On 30% of load speed, the robot will move. As my servo is on, I just simply have to click on start so that the robot will start moving as per the program. I will try for servo on. Okay. So after teaching the positions to the robot, we have to again transfer all the things to the controller. Okay, so I'll again change the position of robot. I keep it here, and now I will start executing the program. Again, I follow the same process. Firstly, I'll make the servo on. After that, I'll start the program. So you can see that the robot is making a square. You can increase the speed or decrease the speed if you want. This is the minimum speed of the robot. And this is the maximum speed of the robot. Okay, so this is just a basic code. I thought I'll make you familiar with the robot firstly. So I have told you a very basic code of making a square. So we can do so much with this robot. We'll try to make a palette. That is, we'll make a 3 by 3 or 2 by 2, 2 by 2 palette. And from as I have shown you the video, that was the 5 by 4 palette. But now we'll make the 2 by 2 palette and the robot will do the same thing. It will take a block from the palette 2. Again, it will pick the next block from palette 1 and put it on the palette 2 and vice versa. So for piloting instruction, for the piloting operation, instruction for the robot is of VLT. So this is the instruction. After that, I have named it 1, comma. So in palletization, if you are doing a 4 by 4 matrix, hello.
Hello? Yes, Atharva.
Yes, I am audible now.
Yes, you're audible.
So if we are making a 3 by 3 matrix, so in palletization, we have to teach the robot only the only the four corner of the robot, that is this point, this point, this point, and this point. So by teaching these 4 points and giving the instruction of DEF palette, that is defined palette, the remaining corresponding point that will be calculated by the robot, and the robot will place and pick the point accordingly. Okay. So this is the concept of palletization. This is how the robot solved the matrix. So we'll again go back to our toolbox 3. Yes. So DEF palette, we have to define total 4 palette. So P1, 4 points, sorry, P2, P3, P4. After that, you have to define the rows and rows of the palettes. So we are using a 2 by 2 matrix. So 2 rows, 2 matrix, 2 rows, comma 2 matrix, and comma whether it will move in linear direction or whether it will pick the whether it will pick and place the first palette to second palette in zigzag direction. So I'll select one, that is normal direction. After that, I have to define one variable. I will define as a m1 is equal to 1. After that,
Uh,
hello.
yeah, I think there is some breaking voice at your end. Sometimes we are
Uh,
losing you.
okay, so now it is clearly audible, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Now it's clear.
Yes. So after that, I have to define one variable, that is m1 is equal to 1. After that, if m1 greater than 4. So our total coordinates are total 4. That is, in 2 by 2 matrix, there are total 4 points. So if m1 is greater than 4, greater than or equal to 4, then loop. So, so this is all about the palette 1. So we want the robot to pick one piece from palette 1 and place it on the another palette and vice versa. So after that picking, we have to place it somewhere. So again, loop, I have to define the second palette here. Say, but I have to take different coordinates. That's P5, P6, P7, and P8. Again, I have to define a variable M2. Okay. So after that, defining that the variable, we have to make the increment as the robot picks up one position and then it have to move on the second position. So we have to increment the R variable. So that is M1 equal to M1 plus. Again, the same command if m1 is greater than or equal to 4, then h I make a new code for it, new program for it. Sorry. So this is our code. First, I have defined the palette 1, total coordinates of palette 1, the number of rows and number of columns available in palette 1, and in which trend the robot will pick uh, the cubes or whatever. That is one in linear. After that, I have given a position here, that is after the picking a point from palette 1, it will move to this position, that is MVSP 100, and after that it will move to palette 2. So after that, I defined a variable, that is M1 for palette 1. Again, after that I have incremented it, and if M1 is greater than or equal to 4, then it will go in the loop. So in loop, I have defined palette 2. Here also I have declared one variable. I have implemented it, and if the variable, if the M2 is greater than or equal to 4, then it will move to a safe position, that is MVS P201, and then it will halt, it will stop its action, its movement. So this is all about the code. So now we have to add all the points. So firstly, P1. So I'll say this is my P1 point. This is my P1 point. Okay, so I'll copy this position by clicking on get current position. This is my P2 point. I'll make some minor changes in x-axis of P1 also, as the y-axis has been locked. So this is my P2 point. P3. This is my P3 point. Let's see. So this will be my P4 point. Make some minor changes as the robot is not with us. After that, I have to give a position to MPS P100. So yes. Let's say this is my P100 position. So likewise, I have to define pilot 2 coordinates. So this is my P5 point. After that, P6. Let's say this is P6. This is my P7 point. And this is my P8 point, that is last one. I'll make some changes to y-axis to move in straight direction. Okay, so after that, I will require a point P201. That is the safe point of robot after the movement, after the completion of pilotization. So this is my safe point. Okay. So this is all about. Let's see how the code is running. Is there an error available in the code? Then we will modify it accordingly. So I'll transfer all to the controller. Yes, writing is completed. Now let's see whether or not. So I clicked on the select button. I have selected the code 101. I have made the servo on. I have taken back robot to its home position. Now let's see. Three to five. There is an error. Let's see what error it is. 3 to 5. Hello.
Hello? Yes.
Yes, sir. Sorry for the delay, but due to some technical things, the robot is unable to fetch the position of the points in the palette entered by us. I have taken it. I have just seen the troubleshooting manual, but I'm
Right.
not getting any idea about it, why it is happening. So instead of pilotization, I'll show you something else in the coding.
Yes. Uh, we are nearing our end time. So instead of a new program, do you want to take questions? Will that be fine? If
Yes,
any,
yes,
yeah.
yes. That is also okay for me.
Okay. So what we'll do is we will open up the session for any doubts or questions that anybody might have. Uh,
Yes, fine, fine.
right. So if any of the participants has any questions, you can put it up in chat, or you can even type it. Sorry, you can even unmute yourself and ask the question orally.
Yes, or you can unmute the mic and ask me.
Sir,
Hello?
hello, sir. I was little late
Yes?
to join, so I was unable to get which is the software
Okay. So, ma'am, this is the
download
software
it.
name of the, okay. The name of the software is RT Toolbox 3. And this software has been made by the Mitsubishi to communicate and to control all the Mitsubishi series robot. So this is the third version of this software. There is a there is also another software named RT Toolbox, RT Toolbox 2, RT Toolbox 3, and then next Pro version is RT Toolbox 3 Pro. So the software is basically made for the controlling purpose and the communicating purpose for the Mitsubishi robots.
Okay.
Can you just type the path in which you can download from the net in the chat box?
Yes, yes, I'll show you. I'll show you.
Okay. So I think
You just simply
yeah, one more
yes,
question in the
yes, sir.
chat. Same thing. That visual link, would I-
Actually, I am hearing some noise, sir. I am unable to hear you properly.
I would request
Okay, that
Solanke to please not unmute his mic because we are getting an echo from your end, sir.
Hello?
Yeah, we are getting an
yes,
echo from your end. Solanke,
Hello, sir.
please type.
How to,
Okay.
sir,
Yeah, go ahead.
sir, how to calculate degrees of freedom as far as SCARA is concerned?
how to calculate? Sorry, but
Degrees
your
of
voice
freedom.
is not audible. Degrees of freedom. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
degrees of freedom from the robot itself, you can see that there are total 4 degrees of freedom. That is, one motor is placed here. I can show you. I'll move the J1 axis first. So this is the first axis, and on robot itself, it has been written that how much axis it has, how much axis you can add externally. This is the next axis J2. So the one motor is placed here near the J2 axis here. Next one is here J3. That is the up and down of the shaft where the robotic end effector will be placed. And the last axis is twisting the shaft. So these are the 4 axes. And actually, when you buy the robot now, you'll get to know that how much axis it has, and accordingly, you have to take and you have to think on it that how much axis you will require, and the company is giving how much axis. So you'll get all this information whenever you buy the robot, or you can see it on the software also. As I have told you that the name of this robot is RH-3CH4018. So RH means horizontal type, 3CH means it has a payload capacity of 3 kilograms, and the next digit after CH, that is 4. That is the degrees of freedom. That is 4 degrees of freedom.
That means
Sir, sorry.
yeah.
My name is Arindam Banerjee. Actually, the degree of freedom can also be calculated with the help of number of links and joints, right?
Yes. So
Theory
it
of
has total 4 joints. Right. It has
yeah.
total 4 joints.
Yeah. So that would be. I mean, if the joint is a higher pair or a lower pair and number of links, you can easily put in the formula and we'll get the number of degree of freedom, right?
Actually, yes, sir. Right. Actually, thing is that I am from electronics background, so I don't know much about the mechanical thing. I'll have to ask my mechanical team, and
Yeah.
then I can tell you what is the correct formula and what we can do for it.
Okay.
I am
No problem.
I am also from electronics, sir.
Acha.
Sir, that means sometimes I have seen some robots giving the specification of 9 degrees of freedom. So how the 9 degrees of freedom are?
So basically, what I suggest you how to calculate degrees of freedom. So how much motor are fitted inside the robot for the different movement that you can see on the RT toolbox. I am saying that is there is one motor is placed here for this J1 axis movement. One motor is fitted here that is for the J2 axis movement. One motor is fitted here for the J3, and the fourth motor is also fitted here for the twisting. So
Okay.
if there are 4 motors, then the degrees of freedoms are simply 4. As we know, there are total
Sir,
4 number of motor for the moving the robot.
Hi.
So
I can actually answer it a little better. Can I give some input to that?
Yeah.
yes.
I'm,
Why not? Why not?
I'm just a guest. So actually, I'm from mechanical background. So
Yes, sir.
so this basically now everybody, if
Mhm.
everybody which does not have any constraint has normally 6 degrees of freedom, 3 translational, three rotational. Now
Okay.
what
Yeah.
happens is that when a body is constrained, let us assume that you constrain in one particular axis, it has 2 more axes and 4 degrees of freedom are left.
Okay. Yeah.
So every time particular body is constrained, you put a break on the number of degree of freedom. So now let us assume that there are 2 bodies which are linked or 3 bodies which are linked. So what you do is that you put in the formula of our theory of machine. We have kinematics, and we have the formula for degree of freedom. You put, so every particular link will have a single have a degree of freedom, and you add it actually. So this is just a
Yes.
very brief
Right.
description, but I can give you everything, all the details if you want later on. Since this is
Yeah.
not a discussion on that, we can actually discuss it later on, maybe, perhaps.
Yeah. But when we're going to design the robot, the degrees of freedom is the parameter which is most important.
Yes, absolutely. I think it depends on basically it depends on the number of links which you have put and the type of joint. There are many types of joints. Sometimes this is a sliding pair, sometimes this is a rotational pair, sometimes it's
Yeah.
just a something like a point connection. So point connection is like a higher pair. So something like that.
Yeah.
It depends on
Yeah.
what type of a pair is between 2 links. Perhaps if I can actually, I cannot now share right now, but I have all the notes and all. So, but yeah, okay. You can actually ask any. You take a textbook from R.S. Khurmi, and in the very beginning, it's there.
Of course, sir. Yeah, definitely.
Thanks for the explanation, sir. Actually, I was actually not knowing anything about that as I am from electronics. So thanks for knowing. Actually, I was going to
Actually,
ask this to my seniors.
now, if you see the robot, now there is there are many links to it. I mean, every link is moving in a certain direction. Now,
Yes,
to
yes.
the
There are total. Yes, yes,
to
sir.
the most right, you
Mhm.
gave a particular equipment to the to the left, right, to sorry, to the right, to your
Mhm.
एकदम राइट में, हाँ, ये वाला. तो वो ऊपर नीचे जा रहा है ना, मतलब it goes up and down, right? So it's a sliding pair
Yes,
which
yes.
goes, and
Yeah.
all the
Yes.
all the sides are constrained, so it has only one direction to move, up and down.
Okay.
Mhm.
That means
Yes.
However,
2
there
degrees
is
of freedom.
another degree of freedom, which if it is not constrained, that is rotational motion. So it is moving up and down in the axis, in the same axis, but however it can rotate also in that axis. है ना?
Yes.
Yeah.
For
वो
rotation,
ऊपर
there
नीचे
is one
जाएगा
another
तो
motor is
अपने axis.
placed.
हाँ हाँ, ये वाला जो रोटेट कर रहे हैं, ये वाला, तो यहाँ पे 2 डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम हो गया इसका.
अच्छा,
Right.
yeah.
यहाँ
Yeah.
पे 2 डिग्री है, यहाँ पे 1 है, and one
हाँ,
is
यहाँ
here.
पे. हाँ,
So
तो जहाँ पे
likewise 4 degrees of freedom.
हाँ, तो राइट हैंड साइड वाला जो लिंक है ना, वहां पे देखिए एक ट्रांसलेशनल मूवमेंट है और एक रोटेशनल है. तो देयर इज 1 डिग्री ऑफ
Right.
फ्रीडम व्हिच इज ट्रांसलेशनल, व्हिच इज 1 डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम व्हिच इज रोटेशनल, एंड द अदर 2 आर रोटेशनल only.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So likewise, the robot has 4 degrees of freedom. 2
Yeah.
inside the shaft, one is here and one is here. So as I am from electronics, we calculate the degrees of freedom by seeing the number of motors used for the rotation. So if there are 4 number of motors are used for the rotation or the movement of the robot, so we can say that there are total 4 degrees of freedom.
Yes.
So this
Okay.
is my understanding. Yeah.
Okay, sir. It is a very good discussion through this question. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. ठीक.
Yes. Anything else?
From where can they get this software? So if you can
Okay.
show it
Yes.
and
Yes.
share, it would be
Yes.
good.
Just a minute, sir. I'll share the link with you. Sir, I have shared the link on the meeting chat.
Yes, it is visible.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Anything else?
Questions?
रात